Today we have something new in the Thermal Mermaid world. Now, if you're a true lover of learning about soap making styles, methods, and travel, I'm bringing to you a guest artist who's been a soap maker for over 30 years. Today I'm going to feature Jen Olson from British Columbia, who is the creator and owner of the Jen Spice YouTube channel. Not only is she very knowledgeable about soap making, but she's been working on something very clever from which I've learned quite a bit from, and I wanted to share that with you. One of Jen's skills is the craft of African black soap that she learned as a student from a woman's taught soap making school in Ghana. And as a student, she was taught how to use the original ingredients and incorporate them into the closest true African black soap that's made today. Along this journey, one might discover that there are many soap making artists out there who try to replicate this method with techniques that are similar or modified, or ingredients that are close but not exact. And all of these attempts are fine because as artists, that's what we do. We learn, we try, we experiment, and sometimes we have a fantastic success and other times maybe not so much. But one of the obstacles is that if you do not live in Ghana or Sudan or in a local area where traditional African black soap is made, you may not have access to these original ingredients. And even though you can try to replicate methods used when making African black soap, well, you can't truly call it African black soap. But if you still enjoy this style of soap making and you still want to try, with a little helpful info, there's nothing to hold you back. Jen makes a North American black soap by finding the closest chemical ingredients at the highest quality for soap making, and then sourcing it locally to her. Now, her method will give you a true black soap, but it's a true version from North America, and that's where her ingredients are coming from. I'll let her show you more.
Hey everyone, my name is Jennifer Olson and I am the owner of Jentle Soaps. And this year I have finally cracked the code on making black soap, the African style with North American ingredients. So for those of you who don't know what black soap is, you really need to get in the loop because Thermal Mermaid and I are going to be making Thermal Mermaid black, North American style black soap today, and it's gonna be epic. We're in an indoor-outdoor place because today's creation is gonna be smoky. But as an introduction to black soap, I thought I would show you what African black soap is because it's probably the more well-known. And here we've got a lovely black soap enriched with aloe vera from Baraka, which is one of the companies I buy most of my oils from. I buy my shea butter from them, my cocoa butter. Kind of nice. The cocoa butter comes all already like in little bits if I want it. And so this is their aloe vera. It's a traditional recipe and they don't tell you a lot about what's in it. It does have shea butter in it and it's sustainably produced and handcrafted by the women of Ghana. So the ladies that taught me how to make black soap in Africa, in Ghana in particular. Here's one type of black soap. This is a very crumbly one and it's quite hard. Okay, so here's another one. This is their soft black. So this one is similar to another soap I have. And I didn't even need to cut into that to show you, what it's like. This one's a softer soap. So it kind of, I'll just pull this out. And this one I'm actually going to cut because I know the other one is just going to crumble as I cut it, and it probably would be a good thing to show you anyway. We're going to have black soap all over here before we're done. All right, so I'm just going to cut it. You can see what it's like on the inside. Again, black soap. They're both black soap. They're both slightly different in their formulations. They're made by different people, made possibly different tribes. completely different. And we know as soap makers that it's most likely because they're made with different base oils or different concentrations of oils. And that's going to be very evident when we have a look at the black soaps that I've produced based on the method that they use in Africa, but with readily available ingredients here in North America. So let me just pull up the soap that I've made recently and tell you a little bit about it. Okay, so this first soap is, I believe, the first black soap that I made, and I used a very old recipe that was based exactly on using the same ingredients as these African soap. It's quite nice. It's between soft and hard, but it's also not as old possibly as those, and maybe not cooked exactly the same, or it has a different texture, different ratio of the oils. But as you can see, it has the same kind of brittleness and crumbling texture. So it's somewhere in between these two, I would say. It's still quite soft because it's a potassium soap, but this soap as well would be quite soft if we added a little more water. This is really kind of cool because it's close to what you would get if you were to buy a black soap powder. I mean, look at that. It's practically powder. That's really fun. That's hard to achieve. That's super cool black soap right there. African black soap right there. I will be having fun with that one. If you want to get some of those again, you can get it at Baraka. Now, so this is coconut oil, straight up coconut oil soap. All right, it's very bubbly, very gentle. It's a little bit harsher than what the next two soaps I'm going to show you. So there's that one. Okay, so that's pure coconut oil, North American black soap. So these are ABS, and this is NABS. So North American black soap, African black soap. So the next one I'm going to show you is completely different than any of these, and hopefully I will be bringing in some examples of African white black soap. It's this is our Bastille black soap, and it was actually a dark chocolate color, and it moved and cured to this lovely cream color, and you can actually like do that with it. You can shape it, and as it sits, it gets lighter. It doesn't get harder, but I'm sure if I cooked it a little longer, it might have. I don't know. This is the first time I've made the Bastille, and I used a different method for cooking it than I did for this coconut nabs. So this is nabs Bastille. So it's mostly olive oil with some coconut oil, and it's an absolutely incredible soap. Now, the last one is a Luxe blend. So I took all of my favorite oils and butters, like cocoa butter and shea butter and coconut oil, and there's a whole list of wonderful goodies in this one, and I will be putting a video out on my YouTube channel, Jen's Spice, if you want to see this one made. It's absolutely amazing, and I can't get enough of it. It's got castor in it. It's a perfectly balanced formula that has everything you want in a soap. And in a black soap, it is absolutely decadent. So it's got all these, it's a softer soap, but it's also a newer soap. So as it was hard from the beginning. It wasn't soft like this one or this one. This one was actually quite soft until it got super hard, but it's also the oldest of my black soap. So here's that one. Here is the Luxe black soap. So I'll show you what that looks like when you cut into it. It's a gorgeous soap. So when we talk about black soap, there's more, you can do more than just this. There's also the Bastille soaps, but they're made with potassium hydroxide. Now, potassium hydroxide is really easy to work with, makes a beautiful soap, but it's for more creamy wet soaps. These are really great because they are shelf stable. You can just, put them in a bar form and sell them in a wrap or in paper, and they are very marketable. Whereas with the liquid soap, you need a jar or a bottle. These, you can just sell the soap, and it's a bar and it's easy to use. Okay, so the ingredients. African black soap is made with organic potash, and this is what it looks like. I actually managed to get a sample of con, which is also used for their cooking. I'm not 100% sure that this will make soap because I haven't actually tested it. So come back for another tutorial on making African black soap if you want to learn how to work with organic potash. Today we're going to be doing North American black soap, which is made with this potash. This is refined from North America. And I'm just going to take off my glove because I want to show you that both of these can be handled with the hands and they're not going to burn your skin. Now, anyone who has worked with sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide knows that by now I would be getting ready to go to emergency. That's not going to happen with this. In fact, I'm just going to dust my hands off, put my gloves back on, and carry on. Now, so those are the different kinds of potash. So this is the potash we're going to be using, the white one. The African black soap potash, the organic potash, is going to need some more refining before we can even make it into soap, from what I have been reading and learning from other soap makers. And so without further ado, we'll save that for another day. So I'll just get rid of that.
Jen continues with her full demonstration, which is now uploaded as a part of lesson 7.11 in the Thermal Mermaid soap making course. So if you do want to see this in its entire detail through the full process, this is already available to members at the link below this video. The lesson includes a full demonstration from start to finish on the process, and then it includes all the downloadable materials that you need to create this exact recipe that she's making here. Now, while we watch a part of this, I'm going to give you a few points on what I learned from this very informed instruction. First, just like the hot process methods that we make regularly, this cook process has several identifiable phases which you learn in the same way that you do when you're making your slow-cooked crock pot soap. And there's a practice to it that becomes familiar over time, which is one of the reasons why this is definitely an advanced technique, because how you tweak your recipe and you work in your environment is going to be how it adapts to your style. Second, this is for sure an outdoor activity. You need lots of ventilation, so your backyard or a wide open patio will be where you need to set up. There is a smoke phase that's perfectly natural to the process, so once you get there, don't panic, just keep pushing through it. You can't even start this process indoors, and then as you're moving through the cook phase, which may take an hour, it may take a certain time to get there, then you can sort of bring everything outdoors so that you don't have to do the entire process outdoors. But definitely once it starts to smoke, you need to have your windows open or you need to move outside. And third, Jen does a great job explaining the difference between the inorganic potassium carbonate, potash, as it is a more pure way to create soap in the same way that we buy sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide from our soap supplier. You certainly can make your own lye like the pioneers did, but you get a better bar of soap with fewer impurities if you look for the supplies from a qualified company. And so the same goes with the organic and the inorganic potassium carbonate. Now, I hope that you enjoyed today's topic. Don't forget to subscribe for more soap making adventures, And if you're interested in upcoming recipes on the North American style black soap, Jen is preparing regular soap recipes to be added to the collection in the recipe directory at Thermal Mermaid. And if you want to see more of her work now, then don't forget to skip on over to her YouTube channel, Jen Spice, and subscribe to her for more great content. I am a subscriber. I have been following Jen from the beginning of her channel, and if you truly are a soap making hobbyist, you will find some very insightful and knowledgeable tips on developing your craft hidden in her videos. So I highly recommend that. See you guys next time.